So when I was very young, my grandmother gave me two really beautiful copies of Austen novels. One was Emma and one was Pride and Prejudice. I was so young, I didn't know, I don't think I could read the words Pride and Prejudice. And so Emma was, I could read the word Emma. And so I started to read Emma and gave up probably halfway through the first paragraph. And then when the BBC ITV adaptation of Pride and Prejudice came out, so that was 95, 96 in Australia. I think it came out 96 in Australia. So in Australia on Sunday nights on the ABC, the whole time I was growing up, after the news, there was an hour's BBC literary adaptation every Sunday night. And I would watch these with my family while my mother would do the ironing, and we'd all sit down and we'd watch whatever latest literary adaptation there was, and it'd be a Dickens or a Gaskell or an Eliot or something like this. And this was the first Austen that had been on since I was old enough to stay up that late, and it completely. That first dun, da, 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 dun, da, da. It completely blew my mind, right? I was just so entranced by it, and I thought it was amazing. And I remember, hunting down those lovely leather-bound editions that my grandmother had given me and finding Pride and Prejudice. I would have been about year 8 at this point, so I guess in American terms, like middle school. And so I started to read. And so I very quickly read ahead of the adaptation. So we were getting 1 hour a week. This is in the olden days before Netflix and that kind of thing. So every Sunday we'd get the next tranche of it. And by about halfway through, I'd read the novel and kind of knew what was going to happen in the adaptation. And it was something that, my mother loved that adaptation. I remember going and at great expense buying the two VHS volume when it finally came out from the ABC shop, and we watched it over and over and over again, and I read all of Jane Austen. My friends and I, this is very embarrassing. My friends and I in year 8, we started writing each other letters with our little fountain pens, trying to mimic the kind of epistolary culture of the Regency period.